Hello, everyone. I'm the okayest bassist, and this is the BASSics Volume 31. There may be someone on with us this evening, either to hang out or to discuss stuff. I had said last week that if I was going to do a topic this week, I wanted to talk about the different types of bridges, whether they were for headless or head stocked instruments. So I'm going to start with that until I see if anyone else is joining. So I'm going to try to get this loaded onto my phone. Copy the link. Probably should have done this before I started, but I'm not that smart. Let's see. Safari, because you can't use Google Chrome because of reasons. Wow. Wrong camera. Can we not turn the camera? That's weird. Oh well. Mute camera. Join stream. So, oh, it's supposed to be muted. Oh, maybe I'm hearing me. Anyway. Back camera. There we go. Throw that into the stream. Haha. Okay. So, we're gonna talk about some of this. So, tuning bridges like what's on Eins. Hopefully you can see that. So, it has your standard 2-screw for height adjustment. If it'll focus. You can see 2 little set screws. You screw them in to raise it, lower it, whatever. This particular one, I think these are manufactured by a company called Guyker, Guyker. So your ball end drops into the circular spot and then slides forward to lock the string in. Once they're in, you pull the string taut all the way to the string retainer. And then at the bottom, it has these weird, like, I don't know, almost castle head things. You could put a flat blade in there to turn it if you need more leverage. The knurling on it is kind of soft. It's not like aggressive, so you do have to grab pretty hard. But overall, pretty good system. I like it. Next one we'll go to is here on the Strandberg. So on the bottom of it, these strings actually thread in through the bottom. So you take the end of the string, it goes all the way up into it and then pulls, of course, up to the string retainer. On this one, since there isn't a thing here to hold the string, you just have your adjustment. There are little tiny set screws to stop the adjustment for the string height to lock it into place. But these will not focus. These string adjustments are basically a hourglass shaped screw head. So in order to adjust the string height, you take the string off of it or detune it, and then you turn it one way or the other to raise or lower the action. For adjustment of string height, I don't like it. Also, this is sad. The other day it fell off the wall and a little chunk came off, but I glued it, so it is what it is. Hopefully the light will work with this. This is a headstocked instrument. This is a close. So I really like this. There is a cutout, so you can drop the string in, slide it to the side, and it locks into place. You don't have to pull the string all the way through or thread it all the way up. Just like the one on Eins, you have the 2 little set screws to adjust string height. And then on the bottom at the back, you can see next to the ball end of the screw, there are little screws next to it, and you use that to adjust your intonation forward and back. On the Strandberg, you can see there are little screws inside. You have to loosen those and move the entire tuning piece. Whereas on Eins, you have to release this little screw at the back and then manually move it. That I do not like that about those. I prefer something like these with the screw so you can move it forward and back. But I mean, you get what you get. So it looks like we have an addition. Let's see here. Ladies and gentlemen, Bully the Kid. There he is.
What's going on, man?
Can you hear me fine?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. So I was
going
over the different like bridge types. So how they adjust. I had seen someone who was talking about, I think it was the Hills, but their guitar version, about how it adjusts and stuff. And someone had questions about it, so I figured I could go over, especially the headless bridges, because there's so much built into them. Like you have your tuning, you have your intonation, string height. In the case of the EHBs, like this one, you have a slot that the string goes in the front of it, like the ball end, then it comes in and hooks. But then you have your, of course, adjustment for tuning. I really like how these ones are designed. They have the screws at the end right next to the tuner, so when you're turning it, it doesn't feel wobbly. And then you have your regular intonation adjustment with a screw. I like that way better than the physically moving it. You have your 2 set screws on the top. That is so that you can adjust the height. And then you've got, if you can see it, there's a little screw right here. And if you loosen that, that's how you can adjust string width. So the Ibanez has completely customizable on your bridge where you can do width, height, intonation, all that good stuff, and then has the tuning built in. So
cool. Is this your favorite bass?
The EHBs, I prefer. I'm gonna kick this other camera off because that's pretty much all of them. Goodbye. Why? It's still there. Close. There we go. That's better. So I do massively prefer the EHB's headless tuning bridges. I've used a lot of. Oh, I guess I forgot about the Quartz Space 5, but I can just grab it and bring it over in a bit. I'm gonna zoom that out just a little bit. So see, now we're like actual height to each other. This is about real life right here. But I do massively prefer the EHB's tuning bridges. I like the anchoring point right next to the tuner. It's the only real complaint I had on anything for Eins is those tuning bridges. There are times that, especially when you're first putting in a string and you're just trying to get it to tension, the pieces can move like a millimeter or two from side to side at the end, and it just feels cheap. But I mean, the difference in cost between that set of Geikers, I think, is like $60-$70 for 5, whereas to get one EHB tuner through an Ibanez group, like some reseller or parts seller, there's something between $35 and $50 a piece.
Just for one?
Yeah.
Dang.
So you're talking 5 times the cost. At that point, like the extra $200 would be cool, but on that same note, the Geiger system works. It's good. It has 2 minor annoyances, and that's it. Which you tried out that Hills, and it has the same hardware as. Well, I'll grab it. it has the exact same hardware as the Court Space 5. Like it's the same string retainer type where it has the bar across, and then the tuning bridges are the same. They have that
Yeah.
little recess, and then the knurling or gnarling, whatever you
I
call
really
it, on.
appreciate that. Like that's one of my favorite things about it, aside from
Yeah,
the knobs that are on the Hills base. Like
yeah,
they feel
and
good.
these are super comfy to use too, and
Hmm.
that says a lot because you either get ones that are super textile, not textile, like tactile, that like if you grab it too hard, you're feeling pain because it's so sharp,
Hmm.
or the ones like on Eins, they're very much polished, so they feel
Yeah.
kind of soft, and you have to grip super hard to get a good grip, or put a blade and use two of the notches. Um, but the ones on this are kind of in between an EHB and what's on Eins. It has the same up here where you have to either get like a hammer and a screwdriver to tap while the string's in tension, or you detune it so you can physically move it. Um, and then, of course, there's an angled set screw to pinch it in place against the railing. I don't like anything that isn't like a variable, measurable, mechanical movement, especially for like the intonation. Because if it's okay, I'm 3 cents off and I know a quarter turn did 2 cents worth, I know I can do an eighth of a turn, and that should be about right. Not, well, I think I moved it this much. Let's just fiddle with it forever until it's finally right. But that Hills base has the same. The downside, I think I dislike, if anything, I was going to complain on these, is how it retains the string. The fact that you have to push it all the way forward and then it just drops in like gravity fed, because as you're putting tension on, that's wanting to pull that ball end back out. So you have to be super careful with these and on the hills, because if you don't have enough slack to your string when you start tuning it, and since it's headless, I mean, obviously you can. It's harder on me because I have the tapes and they have to be glued to keep the nylon from unwinding. If you're just using metal strings, you're fine, because if you need to add a little slack, you can just loosen the end and put a quarter inch, eighth of an inch out. But for me, I kept worrying like, okay, well, if I give too much slack, I won't be able to get it tuned because you only have so much that it can travel.
Hmm.
But if I give it not enough slack, I could end up having like a 16th of an inch under this ledge back here, and then you put too much tension and boom, your string just shoots off. So it's there's a lot to them. Um, Schecter use a lot with the like manual intonation adjustments, and I don't like it. Like I don't. They have some that don't have it, but again, on the headless tuning things, each of them have a cool thing. Each of them don't. Like nothing's perfect. The EHBs I like the best. EHB, their downside is the cost, and they're hard to get. Like you can't just go on Amazon or Guitar Center and order them. You have to go through an Ibanez dealer, and then they're not easy to get that way. And again, they're not cheap. The Geikers are super cheap. You can get those through AliExpress, through Temu, whatever. If you're wanting to build your own, they are not expensive, but they don't anchor at the back, so they feel a little less secure. The ones on the Strandberg, they feel secure and they're comfortable to tighten. It feels great. But the weird string height where you have to turn that little circular hourglass bridge piece in order to adjust the height, you have to have the string off of it in order to adjust string height, which once you set it, you're done. It's not like you constantly adjust string height on stuff, but
Yeah.
it was super weird because I couldn't figure out how to adjust string height when I first got it. So, again, they each have something interesting or quirky to them. But
The fact that you put tapes on pretty much everything is extremely interesting to me because for the ones you use, tension is key. Like you sent me Labellas and then Diodarios, right? To mess with on the was the Z7 that I had and I swapped the strings out.
mm-hmm.
Um it was interesting. I never really played with tapes before. I've
Mm-hmm.
always just, bright is the thing for me because I slept. So
Yeah.
it was nice to. I recorded a few tracks with it on a mellow tip. I would have definitely put those on my Fender 5 string that's over there and rock with it like that, or possibly the Sire that's right there. Yeah, so that may be so. Thank you. That may be something I look into in the future because
Yeah.
I'm not really sure I'm going to be slapping the Sire like talking about, even though it can do it. But I
I
need a mellow.
on my F10, because the F10, I'm sure you know this, it's like a 35 or 35 and a half inch scale. So when I first got it, the D'Adarios that I use, they only come for a 5 string. They only come in standard 34-inch scale, and I was worried that if I put them on, I knew if I went through body, they would not reach. I knew the
Mm,
silk would be past the nut, but I had those labellas. I don't remember what they call there's the black nylons that they have, and I had them on there. And this one has a problem. I mentioned it before that it has buzz on the string, and I have the action as high as it can go. And I'm worried if I adjust it too much, the set screws are just going to fall out the bottom of it. So I have to get it to my buddy, and he'll work it over. But the labellas are lower tension than the D'Adarios, and when I swapped them out to I took the labellas off and put the D'Adarios on it. I just went through bridge, and the like for where the nut is, the silk is just on the back end of the nut. Like there's not an eighth of an inch worth of silk behind. So and it helped. It helped quite a bit because a little more tension and there's less flopping to the string.
mm,
The only thing now that has the labellas on it is my version of the Joker bass, and that's because they're the only green strings that I have. So it's just on there.
I get it.
But no, I mean I like the tapes. It's just comfort. It's smooth. It doesn't have a bunch of grippy. So
Yeah,
it is what it is. But
yeah. I never really
it is
gave
a
any.
pain for headless. It is a pain
Never,
for headless.
never really gave it any attention because again, slap right. You can do it with tapes. It does offer a very interesting sound that I'm not sure I would know where and how to use that, but
Doesn't matter acoustically.
but yeah, I'm glad I got to experience it because I have flats that I have on.
Hmm.
I have flats on my this one right here, and it does the thing real good. Did you say no? That's fine. It does the thing. So
See, I have flats on this one,
mm,
mostly because I went to put tapes on it, and as I'd already glued the tops, everything was ready, and then something I guess didn't get glued well enough, or I put the glue too far towards the end, and as I was tuning it, one of the strings the nylon started to unravel. They replaced the strings for me. I just have been too lazy to swap them out. I already had a set of flats from before when they were on this one, and I just left them in the drawer because eventually I'll use them, and I did. This one, I won't tell what it is, but this is something to do with Nashville, so
okay, cool.
it'll be fun.
All right.
And then I see my wife is watching, and then someone named Barry H. I don't know if you can see the chat, but I see hand dash purple dash blue dash peace. So I don't know if this is a purple and blue colored hand giving a peace sign, and it's like just trying to textify the emoji. I don't know, but
Mm.
hello, Barry. I don't know. Hand purple blue peace to you as well.
Hand would be
Hand.
hands like this, or is it? Yeah, it might be high.
Well, hand purple blue piece. It's all between a set of colons, so it's a single script. So maybe, like I said, maybe it's a bluish purple tinted hand peace sign. Hand being the category, blue purple being the color, or purple blue.
I
And
mean, it
then
makes sense.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
sure.
Maybe they're telling you peace.
Okay, his
They're
wife from cooking back in the house is actually on fire. The one goes. It's good to know.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, if it is, there's a window right here, so I will. You'll see me grabbing things off the wall and just lowering them out the window. Some of them.
uh,
Some of them might just stay in case the whole thing goes, so that insurance. Yes, it's a purple and blue peace sign. Okay, there we
oh,
go.
okay.
We
All right.
we
Well,
now have the information.
well, well. Ah, man. So, I do have uh my final thoughts on the Hills base, and I'm hoping to get that out. I'm waiting for payday. Uh,
Apparently, it looks like the. Apparently, it looks like that.
oh, cool. All right.
So
So yeah,
she's
I'm
letting the
hopefully
house burn
sending that
down while
out
she
to.
shows us the emoji.
I'm waiting to send it out to Prop, and I think we're gonna just swap bases. I think he has something he wants to send me,
Yeah, that's what he
and
was saying.
that should be pretty cool. I'm interested to know what he thinks about it. I'm kind of contemplating putting new strings on it so he can have like a fresh, fresh look at it. But does it really matter? I don't know.
I
But
mean,
yeah, I
I've
played it
had it
today.
for a handful of days, and I mean, they're rounds. You've had it for what, a couple weeks, and then
Yeah,
I mean, unless you are constantly playing the thing mercilessly, I don't think the strings are super worn out. It's been
I mean,
played for only a handful of hours.
I used it on the gig maybe three times, so probably two Thursdays and a Sunday today. Uh, and it, man, look, this is where I found out between both pickups, the whole EQ maxed out. That thing sings, bro. Like it sings, bro. I
You
got a
just have to
video that's
pull the
gonna be coming
volume
out.
knob out.
But
It's the
yeah,
same thing. That's why I'm pretty sure it's made in the Cortex factory because
mm, yeah.
it's
I
the
didn't even know it did
hardware.
that. Like I may have missed that part in your video because I'm often, it's background noise when I watch your videos. So I'm often doing something else.
Yeah,
Uh, it's pretty cool. So I might have missed that active passive thing, but I covered that in the video whenever I did my final thoughts because I talked to Ron, the owner of the company, and he was like, that's active passive too. I was like, oh, all right, cool. So I started pulling knobs. Click, click. Okay, cool.
yeah.
All right.
I'd seen it on their site that it was active passive. So when I got it, I was like, okay, this is going to be like the Z7. Something on here does a thing because there's not a switch. So I did the same thing, and I actually removed the bass knob when I first tried because I was like, it's going to be like Sire, and I just pulled it and it clicked. It didn't change the sound, but it clicked, and then I put it back and then lightly pulled, and the popped out on the volume. Oh, there it is. Good, good.
That's funny. So if anything's wrong with it, he's admitted that he the one he did it. I didn't do anything.
Yeah, I already told him that whenever it's made its rounds to everybody, I'll have it sent back to me. That way, before it goes to them, and someone's like, "Oh, I promise there wasn't a quarter-sized hole drilled in the middle of the body for some reason." No, that wasn't there when I had it. So, and then I'm planning on. He said he would give a decent discount since it would be a used one. So I was like, "Oh, okay, I might keep it. We'll see."
Ah man, they have a sunburst flavor that I'm if I get one, it's gonna be that flavor. It's specifically gonna be that one. This ain't a bad the freaking pink one ain't a bad look. It's
Yeah,
like what rose pink metallic lavender. I don't know. It's an
something.
interesting color.
Yeah.
But that sunburst, it spoke to me immediately. I was like, that's my huckleberry.
I remember whenever I was getting it and I started reading the specs on it and I saw that they were single coil pickups. I was like, it's an interesting choice. You're making like the Strandberg of a J bass, basically. Like you're making a J bass highly affordably ergonomic, and that was because they almost sent me. They have another model that is a 30-inch short scale that is different, slightly differently shaped, and they were going to send it to me, and they said, "Does that work for you?" I was like, "I mean, you're sending it, so it doesn't really matter." Like if you're sending it, I'll try it out. Like you're not charging me to send it to me, and they're supposed to cover the return label if I return it. But I was like, I prefer the multi-scale unless you want to send both. And they were like, yeah, we're not sending two. Like, we'll send one. It's like, I don't blame you. Like, you're going out on a limb when you send something to people to try. Like, if they just go, no, this is mine now. Hey, we want that back.
You out of it,
That's
but then you can go,
unfortunate.
you can sue and stuff, claims and
Oh
such.
yeah, I mean they
But
could. Is it worth
so
it? The legal cost that's going to go through more so than. I mean, they could always dox me. I guess that worked out for Glary. So just throw
so yeah,
people's
let
information
me
across the
let
internet.
me see if I can share this. Share
I
this
remember.
screen.
I remember you'd said you wanted to. You thought you might be changing streaming platforms. I got a notification from Restream today that I can't do screen share still, but I can now share images. Like if they're saved on the iPad, I can actually put up an image now or a
Okay.
video. So that's
So for this one
handy.
here, you can't see this screen.
Boom.
Yeah. So this is the move here. Yeah,
I
I like it.
remember because there are like 4 or 5 colors, right?
Hmm.
Because
Oh,
I remember seeing them. Yeah, that one just to your that's the 30 inch. Those are the 30 inch, the HMB3s, the 5s are the multi-scale. See, I really like that white. I think it would look really cool though with a maple on maple, like a maple fretboard.
yeah, I can see that.
I also liked the look of their stealth one, the solid black one, because I think they, if I remember right, they use a darker fingerboard on it too, not the gray. I do like that gray. I mean, that
It's
gun
not
handle looks
bad. It's a
pretty
nice little
sharp with the white
slate
pick guard.
situation. This one.
Yeah, the black, I think that looks cool too. But I of all of them, the one I liked the looks of the best was the whatever they call it, the pink one. But I didn't ask. They were just like, yeah, well, we'll send you one, and I was like,
Metallic rose
okay,
gold. Okay.
sure. And
Uh,
then they were like, hey, here you go. Here's your label. It's on the way. And I was like, cool. What color are you sending? Because like I didn't care. They all looked good, but they were like, "Oh, we're sending you one of the rose gold." I was like, "Good, that's my favorite one. This is great." But yeah,
it's a good time,
it's
man.
a. I mean, it is. And then I don't know if you ever watch his channel. There's his channel named Spectre Sound Studios. Glenn Fricker. He's out of Canada. He does like at home. He does a channel about at home metal production. Like he's a sound engineer, has been for decades, and all of his stuff is geared toward how to get your sounds recorded. Not like he does gear reviews, but his gear reviews are like, is the thing solid? Is it reliable? And does it produce a sound? Like not any of the other stuff. And he actually just did a review on one of the Hills guitars and gave him great praise. He said, Harley Benton has only done one headless, and it was their Doulahan as far as the guitars go. And it had like some really weird problem with like the tuning, something or other had to have a special part that didn't come with it, and you had to try to find one and whatever. But he was like, and it was I think $300 or something. And the Hills guitar, their regular guitar is only like 5 or 550. So, and you don't have to pay the international shipping, and it's actually available. So, he gave them, I think, 4 out of 5 total. And he's like, if you want a budget headless, there you go. He's like, Harley Benton apparently can't keep up with headless. So, I mean, it's good for their
They
money.
hit miracle. This is funny. Oh man, hold on. Let me look one more time. One time for the one time. Here we go.
No worries.
Yeah, shit.
Hiya.
Her
Oh, yeah.
miracle.
I'm not gonna lie. If they'd had one of the multi-scale 5 string basses, I would have requested it. Been like, hey,
It is a
we're
one of
gonna
one.
send this all around these 50 states to like 4 of them. Let's just,
Old
it's just,
glory.
I
That's
that's that would have been her name.
miracle. Hell
I
yeah.
mean, and you notice the difference in price between it and the regular ones, though.
Yeah, it's like what,
Double.
$300 more, I think.
I mean, that's the guitar. They don't have the bass in
Yeah, I
it. The
think it's
guitars.
this one. Wait, hold up. HN3, 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 HN3. Oh, okay. So 629 and then 11, 1200.
Yeah, it's like double for the same series.
Yeah, that's cool though. It makes a
Oh
statement.
yeah, absolutely. They have a lot of interesting stuff on there. And I
And
mean
then
the
you have something
design.
that looks completely normal. That's different.
Well, yeah. I mean you've got a 335 clone, a Les Paul clone, ESP
Uh,
clone, Fender.
okay. Yeah.
That's obviously a Telly and a Strat.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Oh,
will say this: that bag
swag.
that they sent it in
Yes.
is something.
Nice.
Like it's nice.
I like it.
Oh, also,
Swag.
there may or may not be a very small blonde child who keeps running around my house with a Hills hat on backwards because he's like bully.
Oh, I did
May
do
or
that
may
in the
not.
video.
Yeah, he
Forgot
laughed.
to.
He laughed. It was why is his hat on backwards? I said because he's cool like that. So
It was so my camera wouldn't phase in and out because it's my
yeah,
face.
yeah,
So I was like, okay,
yeah.
you know.
He. It's the funniest thing in the world. I have my hat on backwards like bully. It's like okay, good. There you go. Yeah, he's very excited for Nashville.
Yeah, should be a good time.
Oh
I've
yeah,
already
he's gonna
requested
have
my
fun.
time off and stuff like that. Booked my plane ticket, just gotta pay, and then it's on.
Yeah, I don't have
So
to book
yeah,
a ticket this time because it's only a 5 hour drive. So
no,
yeah,
I think it's 13 for me.
yeah, no.
I don't wanna drive there.
Anything over 6 for me is a no go if it's a like a straight shot kind of thing. Now if it's hey I'm going on a week vacation, I just need to take an extra day to sleep somewhere and then head out the next day, sure. But anything over 6, nah, no. And I hate flying. It's awful.
Well,
I don't. Yeah, no.
why?
I get motion sick if I'm not driving, and then in a plane when you're going. Da, 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 da. Yeah, no, mm-mm. I'm not scared. Like, funny story, nothing related to music at all, but for the boys' final field trip for the year, uh, the school set up a thing where we all went to the St. Louis Zoo,
Mm,
and if you know anything in the Midwest for weather, we were in the south parking lot when the 1 mile diameter tornado formed over the zoo. So my wife's seeing like trees breaking and sliding across the ground. I'm just looking at the cars that are not going to cut me off in traffic. It's a good time. She's doing her best not to freak out. The kids are sitting in the back holding phones and tablets with headphones on. They don't know anything's going on, just that there's traffic. Good time.
just oblivious.
Yeah.
You
I
gotta love that, you know.
I was just sitting there. I was like, you know what? If a tree breaks and crashes into the side of the truck, there's nothing I can do about it. So, whatever. But I can stop that Hyundai Santa Fe from getting in front of me in my turn in the parking lot. Absolutely, I can affect this. So that's what I decided to focus on.
Yeah, man. Um, did you want to talk about something as far as like you were talking about what pieces, bridge pieces and stuff like that?
I was talking about those, and like I said, I was mostly just covering. I touched on like the close and how it has similar stuff, the headstocked ones, but it was mostly just an idea to have something to discuss. Because
Mm,
if you remember the original list that I sent of who was going to cover what, and it's just been hard to get anybody who's available whenever I'm doing it.
mm,
So, and I said on last week's that I don't have a problem if this is a short lesson and then turns into some sort of hangout situation. I don't care. Like,
yeah.
if there's a lesson to be covered, like at some point when Johnny can get on, he wants to go over like pedals because that's his big thing right now is he's comparing like different drives and all that.
Mm,
I believe one of them you were going to talk about was like dialing in an amp for
mhm.
in a room versus dialing it in between the bass and the amp, that kind of stuff. So whenever we have time to
Yeah,
dedicate to that, but
absolutely.
we'll figure that out in the
Yeah.
future.
Um.
Stop
Well, you can
asking
talk
me
about it
to
now.
leave.
If that's what you want to do, we can talk about it now.
Oh,
Because
we
it's
can just
very.
hang out. I covered a lesson, so we can
Oh,
next time you have a chance to
cool.
cover.
I actually have to dip out of here in probably 10 minutes to go. I'm part of a bowling league, and they're gonna be starting at 6:30. I still
That's
got to
fine. My
travel
wife
there.
just came over to tell me that she's finished cooking and she's going somewhere. So I'm
At
here with
least you
all
know
three
there's
kids.
bacon. That's good.
It is. It's good
Yeah.
news. She asked the boy the other day. We try to do like all meal prep for the week at the
Uh-huh.
beginning of the week, so that we buy just what we need. So we're not like going to the store and ooh this and this and this and this and this.
Yeah.
So she was asking him what he wanted, and he said bacon. And she was like, "Okay, what are we gonna have with the bacon?" Just bacon.
That kid, listen, he's going places. You
He
know,
uh he decided pancakes would be good, but
ooh,
when they were
bacon.
offered,
Listen,
so
hey
we're having
man,
breakfast. That's what we're having.
whatever you're doing, continue doing that because that kid gets it. He gets it.
Oh, I'm sure you'll be impressed. He's 4 and he keeps coming up to us with math problems and then laughs at us because he already knows the answer.
Mine does
Like
that too. He's
the
also
other day
full.
he the other day he came up and he goes, "What are 4/16s?" I know it's 64, and then walks off. It's like, what? Why'd you ask? Why did you
What
ask?
you asking that question, but the thing that's jumping out at me is, in what situation did you find out this mathematical, like, what were you doing that you had to
Oh, he just
think?
makes stuff up.
Yeah, but
He'll
like,
just be sitting there talking to you, and he'll think of 2 numbers or 3 numbers and ask you what they add up to, and then he already knows.
hmm,
It's like a little kid who walks up and goes, "Why is that tree green?" Except in his case, he knows what the answer to the math is. Now he keeps asking us to write down sentences so he can try to read them because
that's
he
cool.
likes the magic E words where E makes the vowel before it say its name.
Explain.
Like the word case, CASE. E makes A say the A sound instead of say ah.
Case,
Si-
CASE, right?
yeah.
And he's into what now?
E is silent and makes the vowel before it say its name. So case instead of casse.
Oh, okay.
So he likes words that have something with a vowel consonant E so that the vowel says its name. Like home. It's not home, it's home. Because O says O, which is its name. He thinks these words are
Oh,
cool.
that's a next level thinking. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
I keep
Yeah, I don't
telling
think my
Dot.
kid does that. He can read, but I don't think he. Yeah, that's your
Yeah.
kid's advanced. That's nice.
He just comes up and asks, will we make him sentences so he can try to read it?
I mean, that's cool, man. My
I keep
kid don't
telling
do that.
Dot I'm gonna
My
have him
kid's
I'm
like,
gonna have
can I
him
have some to
learning the
drink?
quadratic equation before he gets into kindergarten. That's the goal.
Is it?
Sure.
Can you start with Pythag first?
Nah. Nah. He doesn't need to know that. That's not important.
Pythagorean theorem ain't important. Quadratic equation is that's a step, man. That's a step. I think that you learn that in what, sixth, maybe seventh
Depending on
grade.
your school.
Yeah, seventh grade. I think maybe. It's been a while.
It's
I'm not
fun.
sure. Yeah, that's technically calculus, right?
I guess. I mean, it's
Or
definitely
algebra.
algebra.
It's algebra. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah. Negative b plus or minus radical b squared times 4ac all over 2a, I believe.
Mm-mm. You had most of it right. I think it's 4ac over b squared.
No, I was right.
You right?
Negative b plus or minus radical b squared minus 4ac over 2a.
Over 2A?
2a. Quadratic equation.
Dang, it's been a while. I don't. Here's the thing. I don't even know why I needed to know this. Like, what? It's not like I'm using it ever.
But
Not using
maybe
it.
someday.
I've waited
You
for
know,
that. Like
you get
writing in cursive. What was the point of me learning that and getting graded on
uh
if I could do it or not?
yeah, cursive was typically just pulled over through so that we would be able to read old English documents, things like the Declaration of Independence and all that that's written in script, so that
Mm.
it's not like what are these strange hieroglyphics in which they wrote our Articles of Confederation.
The
Yeah,
odd thing is, most of the cursive letters look like regular letters if you just separate it.
yeah. Things like R and Z are just a little weird, but I mean,
Yeah, tab a little swag on them. I love E. Like it changed how I write my name. Yeah, like so I do my E like this. It's like bam bam, right? So I seen that. I was like, that's fly. And then my wife's name is Erica. And she did the same. She does the same type of thing when she writes her name out.
mm-hmm.
Oh, like, mm-hmm. Yes. I did get in trouble when I was in school because I wrote my A. I wrote my A as an anarchy sign. They were like,
They still knew your name. They still
yeah.
knew your name.
They were like,
Good mom,
Mr.
Molly.
Brown, can you come to the
You know,
front
are you
and
supposed to
explain
be on
this?
here? I can tell my wife left because she doesn't like it when he's on here. So she must have left.
Don't get in trouble.
Oh well, I can't do anything about it.
I
I
get
kept telling her. I think I sent it in the group chat. The video of him when he got in my chair and took my headphones.
mm,
I think I sent it to our group chat. I keep telling her I just want to post it as a short because he's adorable.
yeah, cute kid.
Bully says you're cute. Don't even act like you're shy.
I know, right? Biggest hams ever. My kid does that junk too. Yeah, I just got the message. So I'm gonna have to dip out of here.
That's
It was a
fine.
pleasure hanging with you. We need to get together and like discuss when I can do the little lesson. It's probably gonna be about 10 minutes, 10-minute lesson and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's
And
gonna be a
then
good time.
have you? I know last week you were hoping to have a hang. Have you figured out when you might be having those, or
I
still
don't
still
know.
in?
So I'm. It's not gonna be Wednesday. It's not gonna be Thursday. I could possibly be Monday or Tuesday or today, Sunday. I don't know. I have to talk with my wife to see what day she's gonna be working and stuff.
Let's say Sunday could work for me if it's not super late because I have to be at
Yeah,
work at
I probably end up
6
doing it
on
around
Monday.
7, something like that.
That'd work. So
Yeah,
just let me
I'll keep
know.
it posted for sure. Well, everybody, bully out.
Bye bye. Okay, adjust the camera back. Haha, you're gone. They can't see you now. Now you're invisible. So, thank you again, Bully. I did cover the stuff. I don't see anything in chat of anyone asking any questions for me to answer. Again, as always, in chat, please, after the video is posted or during the live, if you have a topic you would like to be covered, please, nope, there's your hand. Please let me know because ideas would be great so that I can put together someone to teach the thing, unless it's possibly a question I could answer. But with that being said, as always, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day.
Will you give me